57 of Nate Thrasher is in front of him now. Nate's got the leader lights, and kind of unusual to see Nate Thrasher here in an LCQ, JB.
Yeah, it's really unusual. He was one of our championship's favorites coming into Anaheim 1. Very unusual, but you know what? He's got to change this around. He's got to get a positive mindset and say, you know what? I'm going to get more track time, more experience on this track. He's coming up to the whoop section here, and it looks like they totally flattened this section for the riders, so he's going to go a lot faster than he has all day. But this is still a good opportunity for Nate. Like I said, get more and more used to the track. Get ready for this main event.
Nate Thrasher has not missed a direct transfer out of the heat race since his rookie season in 2021.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt Sanford, he got the memo. I think that $1,000 bumped him up, because he is right now in second place, and he is chasing down your leader, Mr. Nate Thrasher.
Yeah, Sanford's riding really well in the second spot, but, you know, for him, I think just go ahead and toe the rope there, tie on to the 57 and Nate Thrasher and see how close you can stay to him for this LCQ, their last chance qualifier.
I bet that's still very difficult to do. Fourth place goes down. I'm looking at Ty Freehill, possibly on the 316. Tellen Hawkins on the 35. Last we checked was in third, but it is all mixed up out there. 39 having a little bit of trouble there as well. We'll keep an eye as they make their way around. But even Nate Thrasher, this is challenging for him as well.
You know, one of the things you look back to that qualifying session you saw for 258, he was at the first place qualifier, dropped down back to fourth after a little infraction. And this is how fast this track is deteriorating. Two different set of circumstances, one got the night show. It is a different beast, and look at that, just slow going the way of the Buffalo.
There is a 57 on the Supercross big screen, getting around riders who are stalled out. Very tricky to race out here. These are athletes, top condition athletes, and even more challenging now, even if you've trained well, even if you're in great shape, this is even harder than a normal track. Would you say, JB?
This is really much harder than a normal track because your bike's constantly moving under you, so you're using muscles you're not used to using, and you're just reacting. So you don't know exactly when the motorcycle's going to move. You just naturally react, and your muscles contract. So I'll tell you what, all these guys will be more sore tomorrow than maybe they've been in a long, long time just for that reason.
So let's take a look here. Nate Thrasher up on top, Max Sanford in second, Tellen Hawkins in third, Ty Freehill in fourth. Only the top four make it in. So Chad Schultz and Guillaume St. Cyr are trying to get in as well. They mix it up. Guillaume St. Cyr on the 551 is now in fourth place. Kyle Wise on the 378 on the bubble in fifth. And Chad Schultz has moved up into third. We still got Nate Thrasher and Max Sanford in first and second, respectfully.
But then, even if you're in the 6th and 7th and 8th position right now, you cannot give up because anything can happen. Anything can happen, especially with a couple laps to go here in this last chance qualifier. You can still get into that top 4 position, and I can see from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, these guys are all starting to tighten up, so it's going to be a battle down at the end in this last chance qualifier.
I want to remind you that Nate Thrasher, who is ahead right now, won the main event after an LCQ transfer twice in his rookie season, both in Atlanta. When we were in Atlanta for 3 races in a row, he won 2 of them, and he came from the LCQ to do it. That was an amazing fact. And it'd be cool to see if he can make that happen again tonight, but the cards are stacked against him.
Well, then he's got some good vibes, Dan. He's got some really good vibes. If he wins the last chance qualifier, he's got a high percentage for himself to go win the main event. And I remember those days when, just a couple years ago, when Nate came out and got a great start in the main event after riding the LCQ. And to my point earlier, maybe he just knows the track a little bit more. Maybe his body's a little more warmed up. Look, it's almost a disadvantage for everybody else not to have more track time, especially in the mud. You can kind of get more lines. Look, I don't recommend being in the last chance qualifier, but I'm telling you, it's all about attitude at this point. And Nate's going to know this track better than most of those guys that he's lining up with. If he can qualify for this main event, get out of this last chance qualifier, he's going to know the track better than any of them.
Guillaume St. Cyr, who is looking at a transfer spot in fourth, the 551, if he can hold off Tellen Hawkins, who is charging. And if that 551 of Guillaume St. Cyr, all the way from Canada, stays in, he'll be looking at his first main event. He's never made an event. Guillaume St. Cyr in 13 tries. So can he do it? That is the question. The 551 trying to hang on. 35 of Tellen Hawkins coming in to put some pressure on him.
and he's got a pretty good gap to fifth. So if you're him, you just need to really calm down, take some deep breaths, and know that if you just do the laps that you've done the previous few laps, you're going to get into that main event. It's going to be a milestone for him to be able to get in there, but he's really got to try and focus on himself, not make mistakes, which is almost impossible to do. And I just said, what, 10 seconds ago he had a lead on fifth? Not anymore. That's how things can change so quickly in this last chance qualifier in the mud.
364 Chad Schultz down there was up in the top four. He has dropped down now, and right after that finish line, so a tough break for him. Talon Hawkins moving up, getting quicker. We'll see if he can hang on. Once you drop your bike, really hard to extricate yourself out of this stuff.
Yeah, once you drop your motorcycle, it's really hard to get back, mainly because your grip is then went into the mud, and it's so slippery. And then obviously every time you fall, you try to catch yourself with your hands. So now your gloves are soaked with mud and filled with, you won't even be able to hang on. So really, really challenging. That's the biggest thing in the mud, is just try to stay on two wheels, which is next to impossible.
Hey JB, I got a question for you. On a rider like Nate Thrasher at LCQ, what is some information he's going to take back to the pits that's going to be useful to help him out in the main event that maybe the other riders in the heat race aren't going to know about?
Yeah, I like this situation, Chase. I really do, for Nate Thrasher, mainly because of just what I said earlier. He's going to know this track better than anybody, better than his teammates back at the truck. So he's going to relay some information and say, look, hey, this section over there, no one else has rode the track like this without any whoops on it. So he's going to definitely have some really, really critical information, and he's learning himself, putting that to test right now, and he's going to have a lot of info, to your point, to execute that main event later on tonight.
Kyle Wise on the 378. He is a rookie out here. He's never made a main event. He is sitting in third spot, just ahead of Guillaume St. Cyr in that fourth and final transfer spot. Ty Freehill on the 316 has moved up into fifth. And Talon Hawkins down into 10th now. So a little bit of a trick there. If you don't keep it up, you got issues. Last lap, white flag is out. It is up to Nate Thrasher and those green leader lights to bring it all the way around. Doing it for the Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha crew. We'll see if he can pull it off.
How about Sanford in second? He's going to get an extra $1,000. That's incredible. What a night for him. He's going to make this main event. 2 turns to go.
And here it is, Nate Thrasher, gonna do it and make it happen and put a win, a W, on his resume. Not the way he wanted to win, but still, we have seen him done wonders after he has won an LCQ, so he might be in the position he wants to be in.
Absolutely, I guarantee he's going back to the truck and saying, hey guys, remember last time I won an LCQ? I went on to win the main event, so let's do that again here tonight in San Francisco.
So that is true. Max Sanford, if you heard from Chase Cook,